Hello everybody, I hope you guys are doing well, having a great day or a great night. Before jumping into the charts, don't forget to smash the like button, share with your friends, and subscribe as well. So before talking about XRP, we must talk about Bitcoin and why. There is nothing new. XRP is not leading. Bitcoin is, and until we have the trial, outcome, the end, nothing will change. Okay, so let's take a quick look here and then we will jump into XRP. I'll try to be fast here. So first thing, folks, there is no bear market, there is no bearish trend. This is just clear as the light of the day. Okay, so nothing so far, nothing. Anyone calling for the bear market, bearish trend, have no damn idea what's talking about. So, just a second. Let's go into the 3 days. Yeah. So, as many of you remember, not long ago, just a second. Not long ago, Bitcoin developed a head and shoulders right here. Right? So we talked about this. And then, oops, not this. It's too close, right? So that's the 3 days. That's why it's going to be tight. So, Bitcoin claptrap behavior. So usually, and it's happening for quite some time. Bitcoin develops a bearish structure and then goes up. And while it's going up, it forms kind of a bullish continuation structure and then breaks. So it's like this. There is a lot of long positions open. There is a lot of people long on Bitcoin. A lot, folks. It's a big number. And what is funny about this is that back in the day, some people, even today, some people say, well, but you said it was bearish. Well, head and shoulders structures will always be bearish. Always, always. So when we look into a bear, how we can call a bull? And when we look into a bull, how we can call a bear? So this is the confusion and the problems that Bitcoin is creating with such behavior. It's turning into psychological warfare. Okay? But not only this, what do we have now? Just guess. And this is actually mind-blowing because it's the kind of thing that only happens in the crypto market. You can search anything similar to this anywhere else and you're probably not going to find. I don't remember any behavior like this ever. But so, again, another head and shoulders. So the problem here is we still have what? So let's leave the head and shoulders here both and let's take a look on the pivots. So this is the one that I addressed before. So nothing changed on the top. Also, we have to remember this is a 100% plus retrace. And how we know it? Just a second. We go from here to here. So this is the anchor. And as you guys can see, it is 100% plus. So, is this bearish? Can be, maybe yes, maybe not. Why? As we know, in a bull market, we have higher highs and higher lows, right? So far, this is a higher high. Marginal one, yes, it's marginal, but it's still a higher high. And so what is the problem? Despite this was a marginal high, we had the possibility for a ascending structure or kind of a rising wedge. Kind of. It wasn't symmetrical. So let's take a look here and let's speculate on the broken pivots. I will use the dashed lines. Oh, and by the way, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here because this claptrap behavior, it's awful. Okay, so we are in the same boat here. So the last one stands for speculation. This is not set, still in motion. So let's take out this guy right here. So these are the two broken pivots. Both of them suggested a possibility of continuation. This one or this one right here. So this leaves the question how to know if this is bearish or not. Well, we have kind of a unique event here, if we can say unique, because I never saw anything like this. So let's speculate here again. Just a second. Let's speculate. So let's say, just for the sake of this example, just for the sake, because it is in motion, it is still developing, it is not clear, it keeps changing, it is not fully developed, whatever we are going to have here. Oh, before moving to here, let me update the thing that I shared before, right? And we had the breach from this guy right here. So the last one, and we are going to talk about this. I already shared my insights about this behavior that is happening over and over and over. And I believe at this point we have a better idea. So we still have two of the previous pivots intact. Higher lows are still intact, which means there is still not a full breach on the whole structure. So the numbers, what matters are these two right here, right? But this one is the most important one because it's the previous higher low. The other one is down right here. It's a long way far away. Okay, so still intact. There's no bear bullshit. There's nothing here. Now let's go into the speculate on. So again, I'm going to speculate here because it's not fully developed. It's still in motion. It is still developing. So there is no way to make a call. But what we know is that there is no bear market or bearish trend. It's all nonsense. Just a second. And I'm not even surprised to hear about this because the guy who is talking about it, imagine, was able to change Fibonacci retracement too, so he can do whatever the bullshit he wants. So now the question. And by the way, first, let's take a quick look, just a quick one, on the possible outcomes of each head and shoulders here, which the first one broke bullish, right? Some people acknowledge this as a head and shoulders as well. So the thing is, if the neckline is not clear, then we can have problems. Okay, that's why I never look into a possible head and shoulders here. But yeah, so let's go. So this would be the target for the first possible break here for a head and shoulders around $13,000 if it played out, if only didn't happen. Now let's take a look on the second, just for you guys to have a idea on what could possibly happen if it plays out. It would be around $23,000. But now imagine this. Here we have lower high, higher high, right? And here we have the previous higher low. Now imagine ending up with a breach here, right? Because it's going to be a new low or a lower low against the previous one. Yes? Now imagine such a scenario. Because this can play out. We are not saying it will play, but it could, right? Even such a structure could end up in a bullish way. So the odds start to go down, to decrease, but there is still no bear break. So for example, this kind of structure some people call megaphone structure. And so how usually it develops. So we are speculating here just for guys who have an idea, even with a breach. Okay, so this is how a megaphone structure developed. So you see how dangerous it can be to call for a bear or for a bull without any proof or without any validation. The thing starts to become so wild that people lose control, right? So call for a bear where there is no bear, but just because they don't understand price behavior. Okay. So yeah, so this is for you guys to have a different perspective about a different expectation. Okay, because and I am only acknowledging this because of this head and shoulders mass thing right here. So let's go back into the other scenario. And here I'm going to use a dashed line for speculation. The top one is solid. So what we understand looking at this is still a ascending structure. It still can end up with a bullish outcome. Yes, it can. And it's quite similar in nature. Just a second. With a triangle. So what would be a triangle, bullish triangle behavior? what would be the bullish behavior in a ascending structure? You see, so far, there are so many scenarios that can play out here. And folks, when we talk about patterns structure, 6, 12, 18, 24, sometimes scenarios can play out. So imagine trying to speculate in all of them. It's nonsense, right? That's why we wait to see how things play out. And I was not highly confident, but I was confident that this could be the higher low for Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin could go from here. I was expecting this, but I also knew I was speculating. So this is the possible scenario we have at hand. Now, let's take a closer look on Bitcoin claptrap behavior. I shared on Twitter not long ago, a few days ago, if I'm not wrong. So this kind of behavior became a standard in the crypto market. Fake a bull or fake multiple bulls and then goes down, trapping people inside, also liquidating. That are we just talking about. There's many longs, and the folks who trade support and resistance are the first one to blow off or blow up. Okay, that's one of the reasons it happens. One of, because that so let me see if I can explain this. Not long ago, we had the candles study, the better understanding about the candles and etc. And all those things that we came to learn about candles are almost worthless today, almost, because it was so simple and so easy. And the market, it will always defend itself against things that work. Okay, so for example, dumb TA people, they keep sharing nonsense and being wrong day after day, over and over, calling 10 different scenarios. For the market, those people are amazing. It's great for the market because a lot of people aren't going to learn or give or have a better understanding, right? So the less people know, more mistakes they are going to do. And I'm not saying I don't make mistakes. Of course I do, especially in a scenario like this that is not clear, right? So one of the reasons is to create chaos, confusion, make things not clear, complicated, hard to trade, hard to make decisions. Folks, there's a lot of longs open on Bitcoin. There's a lot of bullish interest going on. And I think that one of the reasons is that they want, let's say, 5, 10%, 15% of those people out. I don't know. Could be. It makes sense, right? So now we're talking about this guy right here. We had the fake bear break. Yes, because the neckline is here. So so traded inside the rejection multiple times, fake bullish activity. And also, if you take a closer look here, the same thing happened a few days ago. You see, it fakes a bullish reaction, make a new high against the previous orders. If you look into the numbers straight, it's a new high. It's a fake out. That's why we don't use the support and resistance stuff, because it shades understanding. You won't be able to see breaches, marginal highs, marginal new lows, etc., etc. And then the fake out on the head and shoulders. And I bet my shoes a lot of people jumped here to short Bitcoin. So they kill one side and then they kill the other and then keep going. Now look at this. Oops, just a second. Stay here. Have this guy here in mind. So it seems a copy-paste behavior, but it's still hard to figure out, right? So the marginal high before a fake out. Here it was a little different. We had a marginal high against the previous one. And now we have the best part. Trading inside the rejection. So folks, this seems easy to figure out. But it is not. Why? So imagine you have a standard way to do things. Patterns, to trade, you know, Elliott waves, Fibonacci, all those things. You have a standard, which means you're going to rely on things that are true, that works. And then from a sudden, you end up with something new. That, let's say, change the game. So it takes time to understand, then to develop a way to counter this thing. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I did long Bitcoin right here, and then stop gain, marginal gains right here. We had just a second. So here, up and down, bullish behavior, fake bull break, down we go. Now, just a second. Yeah. Hold on. So one of the things that Bitcoin keeps doing is printing. It's not only on Bitcoin, also on Ethereum, XRP, and many others as well. Print a monster rejection. People will think this is bullish activity. It is not. So this is the first trap. Okay. Trading inside this whole range right here. So I just said this became the standard. Hold on. Probably I need, we better go to the 4 hours. Okay, so how this trap works. This is the first trap, faking bullish activity. So let's write here. So this is taking long. I have to be fast. First trap. And where is the second trap? So here we had the bullish behavior. So this was the previous low, marginal new low, and marginal higher low. So this indicated a possible change, and indeed it was. But then Bitcoin failed with a marginal new high. Actually not failed, but it was a trap, right? So here is the trap. Marginal high against the previous one. So it was the second trap. Soon this thing is going to become popular and they will have to change their strategy. So, and now maybe the most important question at this point. Why we didn't chart, or why we didn't look into a bearish continuation, not bear break or trend or market. It's a short-term behavior. So take a look at this. Not long ago, folks, this would be the way price will develop. We would have the rejection above this key level right here, and I'm going to show you that it is a key level. So it would go up a little bit from here, and then happily develop the bear right here before going down. So by making this monster rejections here, they are, let's say, changing the way a bearish structure plays out or developing. Okay, because again, if we didn't had this, it would be a clear short, crystal clear, like the day, right? But unfortunately, this was creating a lot of confusion. Now, quick look into our key level. You see? This, folks, is perpetual. This will never change. Okay? This is not support or resistance. And just a second, please. Back in the day when I said that I developed a perpetual tool, some people thought it was a joke, but it wasn't. So now, let me show you a different thing, a different perspective. So this is what I am looking into. So just for the sake of this example, actually it's not example, so we are studying here, right? So let me show you this, because this is my understanding now, and we are going to talk about this on XRP as well. If we remove the scammy behavior from the equation, what we are going to end up with? Just a moment. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. So, if we remove the claptrap behavior from the equation, what we end up with? Well, color is a bit weird. Okay. And then here, gotcha. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. So, can we see something like this again in the past? Well, let's try. It is not, it's missing one leg. So it is not going to be 100% accurate, but it's still worth taking a look. Oh boy. So this one is kind of messed up. So let's focus on this, only those two guys right here, without the scammy rejections. If we take a quick look here, that's still a bullish. It's not the best one. Okay, so this is quite awful. But again, we know this is kind of a standard behavior after falling and rising wedges. You see, this is for the bear, and this is for the bull. This is for the rising wedge or the ascending straight structure, falling wedge, descending behavior. So folks, imagine this. They hide a bullish behavior and try to mask the thing with, let's say, the final product will appear to be bearish, but in a matter of fact, it is bullish. Okay, so for example here, this is bullish behavior, even though they are making sure to leave head and shoulders behind. You see? Now, there is more. Yes. Oh, and by the way, I've been struggling with this for quite some time, okay? I'm not a smart ass saying that I understand everything, and it's easy to have a better understanding making calls after things play out. So this is the newbie way. That's not how we do. We are working with this, we are struggling, have a bad time, and it's not easy, folks. It is not easy. Now, if we remove this scammy behavior from the equation, do we still have, oops, sorry, a head and shoulders? Probably not. Just a second, let me try to mimic this thing here to have a better understanding, so I don't have to clear the thing. Just a second, folks. Now, the falling wedge, you see? Not the best draw, but yeah. So this, folks, this leaves room for them to do what? Falling wedge. Then people, the first thing people will look for is a head and shoulders. And then, bang, bear trap. Again and again and again and again. And so this way, we have what? Minor bull traps, because it's happening. So Bitcoin goes down, the inside here, and it took me some time to figure this out. It was quite a struggle. The way down, it prints fake bulls inside, little bulls, right? Little bullish behavior. Also here, I tried here. Here we had the possibility of a triangle. Then we had the inverted head and shoulders here, and then kaput. So little bull traps and big bear traps. So this is true. This is a fact. This is not speculation. Okay. And what is the usual behavior for descending falling wedges? One and one, two and two, three. Okay, so this is the standard behavior. Doesn't matter the way it happens. All we have to do is to look for the pivots. That's the key. Now, all these things being said, just imagine if we are 100% right about this, or close to be right. Right is the word, sorry, not 100%. There is no such a thing. But it makes sense to me because those traps are placed for a reason. They are not crazy people burning money. So this is the speculative scenario that I addressed a few minutes ago, right? So does it make sense? Well, it makes. Now, a quick look into this guy right here. to understand further development. We had this, it wasn't crystal clear. Sorry, just a second. So this almost a rising wedge, and the outcome, it's usually, it's not a rule, it's not a law, will be inside the honey spot. Most of the times probably around 50%, but the problem is 50%, it's a number to measure other thing, and it is not on the Fibonacci formula, if we can say, okay? But so, again, if all these scenarios are true, just take a look. A falling wedge inside the honey spot and above the level that the bulls like, above or in between 6180. Folks, we have a perfect scenario for a bearish obliteration. I mean, the obliteration of the bears, right? So, yeah, it's I mean, the bulls obliterating the bears. We have mathematical odds. We can see, we can observe. So it's all those things is still here, right? And yeah, so folks, I really want you guys to remember this. Excuse me, please. It took me 37 minutes so far to talk about all those things to explain you only this, to reach to this. Folks, technical analysis, it's not simple, it's not easy, it's not something that is going to work all the time, that we can make calls, yeah, boom, 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 moon, zigzag. That's not how it works, folks. Sometimes it is complicated and it is painful. Okay? So I will leave this guy right here. Now let's take a quick look on XRP, because that's what we want, right? So, following the Bitcoin example, what we had back in the day, this one I traded. So, again, this one was crystal clear, even though, if I'm not wrong, I went along here and then had to endure some pain before going up. But still, so this is not a double bottom. This is not a bottom, right? So just looking to the left, there's no bottom here. But was quite a flat structure. Now let me make this draw better. Just a second. The bearish kids are going to have a heart attack after this. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. Oh, here we are going to apply the same methodology we did on Bitcoin. You see what we end up with if we invalidate this guy right here. Gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. So, this is not a head and shoulders, okay? So there is no neckline, and went is straight down, okay? So no head and shoulders here. But again, what we end up with so far, another falling bullish structure, another like this. Yes. Yes. Let me see, 75. Okay. Now, this is the new thing, right? So, sorry guys, just a second, please. So, whoa. Excuse me, folks. So, I'm bringing to you guys something new, right? So now, let's take a look on what we already looked at before, what we already know it is true, or what is the macro perspective. And a thing that is interesting. So, first thing, this is going to turn into a speculative line. So this is not a trend line of. It's only a way to acknowledge patterns and look into many other things, but this is not a trend line. There is a guy who calls anything a trend line, so please, it is not. I will leave it right here because it stands for speculation, okay? If XRP is going to follow Bitcoin, so Bitcoin is going down, yes. Let me go into the 4. Let me see what is going on. Yes, yes. Oh, and by the way, hold on. Just a second. Okay, right here. Yes. So, Bitcoin keeps down and ranging the lower section of the structure. We can even go right here. That's the point to be, place to be. Yes. So you see? Yeah. So what's being developed inside the micro, inside the macro? Little bullish behavior. Little. This is kind of a ascending, descending. It's a megaphone. It's kind of I don't remember the name now. This is quite exotic. I don't remember the last time I saw, but it's a descending structure, and it's not awful. And even so, if, and I think it is likely, 40K. I think now, okay. Someone asked me if I thought it was possible for Bitcoin to dive below 45, and I said I don't think so, okay, because I was still trying to make sense of this behavior here. Been talking about this in the Champions Club for quite some time. We are doing our research here, and so. But yeah, so a new low here, previous low, new low on 40K. It is going to be also a new low against the scammy tail. Can be where it is going to stop. Can be. So I'm talking about this because it is going to be important to figure out what is going on XRP, because XRP will follow Bitcoin, right? At least not 100%, but it makes sense. On the daily, it's looking good so far, but looking good is not enough anymore. By reasons we just talked about, you know, the candles, the behavior, the traps, over and over and over, very complicated. So the macro is looking good. The line below stands for speculation because it's not fully developed, it's not fully placed, and yeah. So folks, first thing, whoa, 45 minutes already. Macro, whoa. Second thing, micro, uh, bull. So actually I showed right bullish structures, right? So this guy right here, it stands for the whole. And this, sorry folks, excuse me. The micro bull stands for this guy and this guy right here. So you see, sorry guys, please forgive me. I don't know what's going on. It's probably because the weather is changing. Yeah. So folks, we still don't have any technical solid reason to believe this is it, it's broken, it's over, bearish trend, bear market, it's all nonsense. We don't have. We still have bullish structures, many of them out there, many of them. And things are looking good. The only problem is we can't forget this. And I really hope those guys who are doing this see my video, because we got you. So you have to change, or people will figure it out. And then you will have a bad time trying to find something new to claptrap. Okay, so folks, again, speculation here. So let me just do one more thing. Hold your hat, cool your hat. So this is good and healthy if we stop right here. It is going to be amazing. But if by any chance XRP start to range down below, then it is going to be awful, very awful, horrible, okay? Because it is going to be a flat structure. It doesn't mean it will be bearish, but it could be the beginning of a bearish behavior. Short term, no change in the trend, okay? So we are talking about multiple months. Yes, this is about multiple months. It is not about multiple hours or a few days, okay? Remember this. Only a few people actually look in the scale here. Actually, only a few will understand. This is a macro perspective. And so, one last thing. People who are talking about, oh, 30 cents incoming. Oh, 55 cents, the bear arrived with his luggages and he's here to stay. Just ask one question to those people, just one. What happens after? Because their natural answer will be, oh, right after we go to moon, we go up to 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. That's their natural answer, but it is a trap, okay? Because remember this, for the ones talking about 55 and 30, they are talking about flat levels. Flat leads to bearish development, not bullish development. So they keep talking nonsense about things they have no idea. And just one more thing here. XRP still rotating inside her honey spot. There is a guy who said, "Oh, but you were wrong about 89, sir." Oh, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure I'm wrong about 89? Are you sure this is not the midway for XRP? When we go up a little bit, oh, I can buy an island now. We are going to move. Going down a little bit, oh, there is a bear horde. A horde of bears coming. We are going to 30 cents. You see, folks, the nonsense, the bullshit. The power of opium is strong and it's wild. Okay, so I will actually leave this right here. I'm not going to change this one. This is my working chart for XRP. And yeah, folks, this is it. Long video, but a lot of things to talk. I do believe this can share you, give you some light, because things, I won't lie. I try to be honest always. This is complicated because we are dealing with something new, a new kind of behavior, right? So, and yeah. So, folks, and by the way, I just figured this thing out after the last breach on Bitcoin. Okay, so I was struggling with this, looking to this for a long time. This is no joke, okay? We've been struggling with this for quite some time, but I knew we would figure it out, okay? So you can fool people for some time, but eventually they will figure out what's going on. For example, a octopus and a fish in a bottle. It will take some time for him to open, you know, to remove the tap and catch the fish. It's just a matter of time. And sometimes people think that he's going to put his arm inside and then catch the fish. Well, sometimes he go into the hole and stay inside the bottle. It's mind-blowing. So that's our octopus work that we are doing right here, right? So they are not going to be able to fool us forever. Okay, so folks, I really hope this video could enlighten you or help you somehow, and share some light, right? Because the psychological warfare, it's insane, right? So yeah. So if you enjoyed, if you want to support what we are doing here, our work, appreciate my time to share all those things with you. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and don't forget to smash the like button as well. Okay, so guys, any news, if anything changes, I will rush to update you guys. Okay, so thanks again. I will see you guys soon. Have a great day or a great night, and see ya.